They're a good nutty bar. But there's really only one thing better than this fucking nutty bar. And that's Yobi.
You sure it's not the dumbass goofy hat you were wearing?
No, that's right here.
God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Still down there. Still down there.
Still outside corner, you're number one.
Was out. Hell was out. Vanessa just about out-wrecked him. And she busted her ass.
Is that all?
I say just keep it on for the whole show.
That's fine. I'll do that. It kind of fits the shirt I'm wearing today. Because Larson did some goofy shit on this track this weekend.
Whatever. Locked in.
Locked in. That's all that matters.
Whatever. Locked in. I say we just end the show right now.
I don't think there's any coming back from it.
Yep. Oh, it's a great place for your microphone.
Right? I feel like the tooth would be the best. A little distracting, maybe.
Oh, what a race weekend we had at Homestead.
Yeah, you know, I'm just so glad that the championship race is at Phoenix and not Homestead. I mean, that race was so good. Like, why would you want a good race to be your championship race? I get what NASCAR is doing now.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought it was great. We're gonna go to Martinsville, we're gonna go to Phoenix, and we're gonna have two shitty races ending the season. So
Yeah, two short tracks, and we got cars that just do not like the short track packages.
nope.
Is what it is. Kind of crazy, but I'll tell you what, there were some curveballs in this race that I definitely did not see coming. Pretty crazy. But before we get into Cup, I do want to talk about one thing real quick. How in the world does Sam in Xfinity, Sam Mayer, go from no wins to what now is he at 4 wins? 3 wins, 4 wins? And obviously road courses. We kind of knew he was going to be good at road courses, but he pulls one off this week. Is it a fluke?
I don't think it's a fluke, but I'm gonna go ahead and state that I don't fucking like him. So
He's a weird dude. I'll tell you that. Like
Yeah.
watching him, listening to him before, even whenever we were at what was it? Charlotte, whenever we got to see him in Victory Lane. Weird dude. Just a little strange.
Yeah, he's young and everything. I just think back to Ty Gibbs beating the shit out of him. So
Hey, Ty Gibbs still holding that leash on him. That's definitely for sure.
yeah. Old Jesus Christ came down, busted his ass. Yeah, I think Sam Mayer, obviously he locked himself in with his I don't know if it's a surprising win. Didn't really see him getting a win on a oval track before the season's up, but here he is, walked in the championship 4. I think there's John Hunter is probably
Pretty much locked in.
Pretty much locked in.
Pretty much.
And then it's just going to be a dogfight between Allgaier, Austin Hill, and I think there was one other. I can't even think of who it was. I kind of haven't really been following Xfinity for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, been definitely loose on it. I think Allgaier's pretty much got a really good chance to make it in, especially coming up with Martinsville. I don't know. Obviously, Martinsville a lot can happen there, and lately he's been more kind of checkers or wreckers. And I don't know. Be interesting to see if he can pull it off. And we have two JRM cars back in the playoffs again, or back in the Final Four. Obviously, last year there were three of them, and they still couldn't pull it off. So we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, I think it's obviously anything can happen, but I think it's safe to say that John Hunter's probably going to be the low-hanging fruit to pick for the championship this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the same car that Ty Gibbs was in, but it's pretty much the same car in a way because, I think he froze
It's
there,
got
buddy.
different graphics on it. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see how that race goes. But we did have a outstanding cup race. I thought it was probably one of the best ovals we have seen this year, and that's coming off of the last couple ovals.
I think each one's gotten better. I agree with you. Like it feels like every oval, every 1.5 miler has just increasingly got better and better. It's very interesting. I mean, I can't wait to see what Atlanta holds next year, if it wears out more and becomes more of a 1.5, or if it stays that super speedway style. Obviously, it's going to be in the playoffs, so that's going to be interesting to see as well.
As
But
long as they continue to run the 550 horsepower package at Atlanta, it's going to be a super speedway drafting type race. So,
for sure.
I don't think you're going to see Atlanta be a traditional mile and a half non-super speedway race until they change the package up there. Which I'd be interested to see, if they do change the package and give them the standard 670 horsepower ratings at Atlanta, to see how that goes. Maybe it would be a good race, after it wears in that Georgia sun. So, yeah, Homestead was a great race. Didn't really get too strung out.
No.
I thought obviously Larson was going to dominate it. He kind of dominated the first half of it, and then pretty much ran out of talent.
I still don't understand how this happened. It seemed like the first stage was like, okay, this is the Homestead we know, this is what we're used to, and then it hit stage 2. And as soon as it hit basically stage 2, crazy stuff just started happening. I mean, obviously, we saw even Truex ended up getting kind of screwed out by that caution and ended up having to start in the back of the field. But luckily, there was another caution right after that brought.
Well, this is all in stage 3.
That was going into stage 3, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm saying, like, starting stage 2, weird stuff started happening.
Kyle was actually dominating stage 2 as well. He was going to most likely end up winning both stages again, just like last year. And of course, I was listening to his radio and following along, and he was saying that, he just did a bad job managing his stuff there towards the end of that run. He tried passing Suarez, I don't know, about halfway through it, used up his stuff, but got by him. And I guess he let Suarez back by, and then it kind of just, held him in traffic, and Blaney was able to get by. He lost control of the race, that type of whole situation there. The pit road situation, Kyle was just maximizing, trying to get all he could get. And I don't think like he said, I don't think he expected Blaney to slow down as much as he did.
He ran out of talent. That he came in there blistering hot. Like, he came in at mock Jesus and expected to be able to stick the landing. Like, it was either he was going to run into the back of Blaney or hit that wall. No, I mean, like, straight up, like, just torpedo the crap out of the back of Blaney's car, or go into the wall. So luckily there's sand barriers and stuff there. I don't know why he thought he had to come in that fast and that hot.
He's just trying to make up time.
Not that much. That's crazy. I'd like to see what the speed was right there, right before impact, to see how, if Blaney was slower than pit road speed, if he was.
I think Blaney was being conservative. I think it was both ends. Blaney was being really conservative getting on, and Kyle was being really aggressive, and that's just kind of what happened there.
Kyle's got to, like, that's crazy. Like, you're good there. Blaney definitely has a good car. At that point in the race, Blaney had one of the best cars on the track. Larson also had one of the best cars on the track. And, like, I get every second, everything counts. But the speed it looked like he was carrying into there made absolutely no sense. He still should have been he should have been coming in slower by the time it got to where those pylons are or the yellow line was. I think it would have been a speeding on pit road if Blaney wouldn't have been there. So I don't understand what the thought process was for Larson in that incident. He just ran out of talent.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he was trying to maximize everything he could get there. I mean, that's what you got to do. But I will say this: it was an off race. Obviously, he won stage 1, was dominating stage 2. He probably would have gone on dominate, but it wasn't like the typical radio chatter and everything I heard all season. There was something going on. Cliff was being very spicy on the radio towards Kyle. Pretty much called him out on the radio for letting Suarez get back by him. And I don't know if you saw the picture that Jeff Gluck tweeted out that after he wrecked out, Cliff gathered everybody around, including Kyle, right outside the hauler, and they had a big meeting like right outside the hauler. So I would imagine there was some shit getting fixed right away, because even when that incident happened, they were talking over each other on the radio, and you could hear Cliff just getting like really fed up with what was going on. It was just a very frustrating race from what I heard and what I hear, week in, week out listening to him. So,
yeah.
Moving on, I think Blaney was going to be the car to beat there. I think he had a little bit more damage than they thought they did from Kyle running into the back of him, because it looked like there was a little bit of a parachute going on there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these cars, they're very aero dependent. And I think it did enough damage. So I was talking with Joe about this actually the other day, and actually right after the race. And I think it did more damage than what they thought. And I think that's what slowed him down, because I think without that damage, he would have ran away with that race. Bell was obviously a fast car, but he didn't come in until, I don't know, halfway through like the third stage.
Bell was in 20th, in the mid-20s during the second stage. That's where he finished in stage 2.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck he came from, but he did get some. I think he probably got a little bit of luck from that caution and red flag.
Yeah.
Because there was quite a few guys that kind of flipped that sequence and got a little bit of track position.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been where Bell got some of that track position from, was he may have pitted right before that had happened.
Maybe.
Of course, it screwed some other guys like Truex, put him in lap down.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Truex, it sounded like there was some arguing like no other from those two guys, James Small and Truex.
Yeah, you want to talk about goofy? That radio chatter, some like
I don't think it was goofy. I think it was very heated.
Well, it sounded like Truex was tired.
Yeah,
he sounded like he was ready to finally just go, here's the steering wheel, y'all just take it, keep on going, because he was fed up. And I think it's like the entire beginning of this year, it felt like they were on cloud 9. They were clicking on all cylinders. They were working together as a team. They were doing great, and they were winning. Now, all of a sudden, you hit the playoffs, and it's been rough. They have had every single bad thing that can happen, it feels like, has happened to this team. And it was going to be, hey, at least this year, we didn't have any Toyotas blow up in the playoffs. He blew up in the playoffs. Engine trouble yet again. Obviously, Kyle Busch last year, and now we got Truex this year. And that comes right after this whole caution thing. And it seemed like he kind of caught a break because they had the caution right after, and he was able to get back up into the regular flow of traffic. But then his car started blowing up. And he kind of got lucky because Denny Hamlin, another JGR teammate, also messed up and came out of the race. So he only finished, a little bit ahead because Denny went out right before him.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Denny's incident on Denny running out of talent or anything. That was a mechanical issue, it seemed like, because even the onboard camera, there was no signs or sounds like a tire went flat. It looked like something fucking broke on that car before he, hit the wall.
And I think it was from running Blaney so rough. I mean, Blaney's interview afterwards was, I don't understand why he keeps trying. Like, if you're gonna try to wash up, like, at least do it. Like, don't like halfway and then just wash into me. Like, literally, like, if you're gonna do the whole, hey, get out and then come around, all right, do it. But Hamlin wasn't, and you seen like Hamlin was riding the wall. He was getting real close. So I'm wondering if there was maybe other contact that we didn't see that could have caused this mechanical failure. But if not, was it just Tim Richmond's ghost out there? And Denny thought it was Blaney again and went to go one more time door him, and instead went straight into the wall. Because it's funny to me the fact that Actions Detrimental has not came out yet.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too.
So I don't know if he's waiting to have actual proof or what's going on there, but very strange. And also his crew chief is also very strange. That whole picture montage videos of all them afterwards, kind of weird.
Gabe Hart's fucking, I don't know, he's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Denny brought that caution out, and during that caution is when Truex was blowing up. So in the matter of 30 seconds, it seemed like we lost 2 championship contenders from the same organization. That's mind-blowing to me.
Yep.
Both Truex and Hamlin, I think they're tied in points. I think they're 14 or 17 points back, which that's a pretty tall task going into Martinsville. Now, obviously, Denny is probably going to be the favorite to win Martinsville.
Yes.
So
Truex knows how to race there too. Truex has wins there as well. So I mean,
while that's true and everything, I don't think Truex has the. I don't think there is something with that team that's going on that's going to keep them from making the next round, making the final four.
They pissed somebody off. I don't know. And I go back to what you talked about last week or week before last, where I think the death of obviously his longtime partner is playing more of a role on him mentally than what everyone or what he's letting on or what everyone's kind of thinking. Because it's just they took a right turn into freaking nowhere, and it's been bad.
Yeah, it was around that same time. I mean, as soon as this playoff started, Truex just has not shown up. And then, of course, with the news of Sherry and everything, it's just how can you have been in a relationship with somebody for as long as they were together? And yes, it ended prior to this season starting, but I mean, you can't say that you didn't. That doesn't affect you in some sort or some manner. So that's the way I feel with Truex. But I think there's something else there too with the team. They've lost something, whether it's chemistry, communication, whatever it is. For sure, they aren't clicking on all cylinders. Definitely weren't clicking on all cylinders. Literally, the end of the race yesterday.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think Truex is going to make it. I really don't. I think Hamlin's going to be your best shot to point or win his way in. But I think Truex, barring something freaky or fluky happen, which it can, I don't think Truex is going to make it.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, obviously, we at one point in time it was like Martin Truex, Byron, Hamlin, Larson. Like you kind of we felt like we knew who that 4 was going to be, and now we're looking at triple Bs. Like we almost have all the Bs making it in there. We got Larson, that's the only non-B here. Then you got Bell, then you got Busher, and right now you got Blaney.
Bush, I don't see Busher making it at all.
I'm sorry, not Busher. Bell, Blaney, I'm too tired. I just woke up.
I know who you're trying to say. I just want to see you struggle.
I'm dying here. You're just letting me go out on my raft.
Byron.
There you go.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Jesus, the triple Bs. I knew it was triple Bs. I knew it was a B. I just couldn't remember. It's like just
yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
I see what you're saying there. Byron, Blaney's definitely got a good shot now. He did everything he could aside from winning and clinching. Yeah. He did everything he could.
We know he'll wreck someone.
Yeah. Well, the other B though that I'm thinking of is Bell. Where the hell did he come from? He just kind of same thing last year, man. He snuck in, last minute wins, clinched to the championship 4. Made it last year. He's doing the same thing this year. He almost won Vegas last week. Almost. So it starts off the round of 8 with a second place and a first place, and he won Martinsville last year. So what's Bell going to do?
I think he's got an awesome chance of running top 5.
Is this Bell's year? Is he just going to have 2 wins on the season and then go out and win the championship?
I don't know. Like I don't think it should be, but this year kind of went weird. Like when you think you know it, all of a sudden something happens. I mean, obviously Chase missing a lot of the year, Bowman missed a lot of this year. We had Truex being so hot, then all of a sudden just absolutely not. We had most of the Ford teams sucking it up, but RFK kind of leading the way. And now all of a sudden, you got Brad, and Brad and Buescher were always close. It seemed like every race they were really close. These last two races, they couldn't be farther apart.
Yeah, I don't know
So
what's going on there.
it's just crazy what's going on right now. These playoffs have been weird, and unfortunately, we're going to watch racing at two terrible tracks. The last one with Phoenix it's literally going to come down to who qualifies well and pit selection. And I just don't see. I can see Bell. I could see a couple, but Blaney, Buescher, I don't. That's why I can't pick them as a championship, winner still. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen with this year.
Yeah, I don't. I think Blaney's going to be able to get in. Blaney's usually run good at Martinsville. He doesn't have the wins to show for it.
Yeah.
My thing with Blaney is that he is consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, there you go with your fucking yawning again.
Ready to go back to sleep.
He sometimes, rattles off wins, or he's contending for top fives right there towards the end, and then other times, middle of the race, he's running good, and then like a anchor got thrown out, just nowhere to finish, no results to prove for it. I am still waiting for Blaney to show that he can close races. So while he can potentially make and has a good shot now of making the championship four, I just don't know if that team, including Blaney, can actually close out Phoenix and win the championship.
Yeah, I still don't feel like you can. Like I've obviously this week, I've picked Hamlin to win Martinsville. Like that's who I think is going to win it this year. And if Hamlin does that, that would put Blaney last man out at the current setup, I believe, from what I've seen for points. Yeah, so like that's what I think is realistically going to happen. But he's done so well this past just few races that it makes you kind of wonder, like, okay, could this be it? Because Logano last year didn't catch fire to the end of the year, and then all of a sudden it was like win. All right, this could be Blaney's. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. That's the benefit of this playoff system. That a guy that, look, I don't know if you've seen week by week, somebody's putting out like what the old Winston Cup points format would be, where the points would be, driver standings.
Yeah.
We've got Bell, who just locked in. He would be leading under the old format.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Hamlin dropped like 2 or 3 spots from the lead.
Yeah.
But then you got Larson, who's locked in, but he's like 9th or 10th in points under the old format and like 270 points back. And that's because, Larson's been records or checkers, whereas other guys have been more consistent, gaining points, every single week. And so that's where this system kind of, it rewards, like even Truex. It goes both ends. Truex, he didn't even get a top 10 until this round.
Yeah.
The whole playoffs didn't even get a top 10 until this round. Yet somehow he was able to make it to the champ or the final 8.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. I think Blaney could be a perfect example of that. Only has 2 wins on the year, but yet he could go to Phoenix, point his way into the Final Four, go to Phoenix. He doesn't even have to win it. He just got to finish ahead of everybody, and he's a champion.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the one thing I don't like about this setup is the fact that everything kind of boils down to one race, and if your car runs well there.
Yeah,
so,
it should be. We kind of discussed this before. The championship race should rotate, and I think we both agree that it should be 3 races for the final round to determine your champion.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, we've talked about it a bunch of times, but NASCAR does not want to listen to its race fans. It wants to listen to TV broadcasting and how well they can get the statistics up on the who's watching what. Which, by the way, it's been down for the past couple of weeks, and I wonder why. They're going against football. I'm sorry, football wins in America.
Was yesterday's race on big NBC?
I think so. I'm not sure. With YouTube TV, it's hard for me to tell.
I don't really pay attention to that. What channel is on, but
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I thought it sucked too. That as soon as Bell, the checker flag flew and Bell, won the race, they went to fucking commercial and skipped his burnout and everything. Like that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that they pulled some Fox moves.
NBC kind of slacked this weekend, and I get, like you said, they're going up against football and everything, but right now is a big time in sports. You got football going on, college football going on, you got MLB playoffs going on, so everything's stacking up against each other. But to completely ignore a driver's post race celebration and then just interview them and then immediately go off air.
Yeah.
Granted, they did put it on Peacock for the post race stuff, but
Post-race stuff.
even practice and qualifying. Here's my problem: practice and qualifying, especially in the playoffs, should be televised, and bare minimum should be simul streamed. But it was on the NBC Sports app. Nobody we know could watch it.
Yeah.
I have YouTube TV. It looks at YouTube TV, but it does not allow you to count YouTube TV as your broadcaster to watch, the races. Or the practice and qualifying. Yeah. Joseph talked about it, and he sent me a message about it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like you're in the playoffs. It's this time of year. Like I get it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but like NASCAR's got to have some kind of say when they're going to these bargaining deals or these agreements. Like, come on. Like this is our biggest time of year. Last couple races, fix it.
I just don't understand not simulcasting to Peacock. Like that is their streaming service. They're going to stream on NBC Sports app, but they can't stream it to Peacock at the same time. That makes zero sense to me because they're not going up against any broadcasting scheduling conflicts or anything.
No,
that made zero sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't understand what they were doing this week. It seemed like NBC kind of took a step back and was like, "Hey Fox, what would you do?"
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do that.
Fox, how would you totally fuck up this weekend?
What would you do to make this worse?
And Fox would say, well, we put our animated, characters up there and play about 79 commercials per caution flag. So
see, Fox is already looking because Nickelodeon does the fully animated football games now for Toy Story. Fox is trying to figure out how they can make it a fully animated Cars movie for the entire race.
Next topic.
All right, so
2 more weeks, man. 2 more weeks, and
two more weeks. 2 more weeks in this season. This crazy year will be up. We won't have Bristol Dirt anymore, which obviously I'm wearing my Bristol Dirt shirt with the Bristol Dirt flag behind me. And schedule's gonna be funky. It's gonna be a funky thing.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to next year's schedule in the sense that the Olympics are playing and there's going to be 2 weeks off. Like,
yeah,
look, this schedule, not only is it a grind for drivers and teams and crews and whatnot, but Jesus, it's a grind for race fans too.
Yeah,
like I'm looking forward to this off season. Got a lot of stuff to do around the house, and I won't have weekends tied up watching the races. But even next year, if they could tone down 4 or 5 races a year, bring it back down to like 32, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, NASCAR's going to do that. They make too much money, and they like it that way. They just want to hear everyone complain about, the fact.
We're good about that.
Football.
We are good about that.
We are very good about that.
All right, but, picks for Martinsville.
Hamlin, Denny Hamlin. I got him. I think this is where he's going to show up. I think he's going to come with everything he's got. He's going to win this one. I don't know about Phoenix yet, but I think he starts off really well here at Martinsville.
William Byron.
It's a good one. I can see him definitely pulling out.
Well, that was a great show, everybody.
And roll the credits.
I'm going to go for Blaney.
Blaney in the bathtub.
Yeah. I'm going to laugh if Blaney blows up on lap 1.
It's that's what's going to happen. Him and Denny are going to get together, and Denny's going to be like, "I heard you were talking junk." And
I really can't wait though for Actions Detrimental because I want to hear what Denny has to say, and I want to know if he addresses what Ryan Blaney said, calling him a hack. Because that was
he has to. Because obviously
does Blaney cry too much.
So what?
Does Blaney cry too much?
Yeah, he does. That's why I call him Blamey.
Call him what?
Blamey.
Blamey?
Blamey.
Blamey?
Yeah. Yeah. Blamey.
Blamey. Blamey Amy. No, you know, my whole problem with Ryan Blaney is like you can count the races that we go to that he's probably going to win. Like Talladega. Okay, Blaney's going to win Talladega. Daytona. Today, Blaney's going to be running for, the win for Daytona.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, Blaney's running 15th.
He's got talent once and thinks that's talent enough. And it's just crazy. But what I think is funny is obviously him and Bubba are good friends. And Bubba.
Oh, now their tweets going back and forth. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So the Twitter tweets were hilarious to begin with, or X tweets, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
Twitter.
So does that mean that, like, if you're tweeting now, since it's X, does that make it X and XX?
I don't know, because I still call it Twitter and tweeting.
Things that make you go, And do not put a .com on that and look it up, guys. Don't do that. So I think it's going to be good. I can't wait for it to come out. I really think he's waiting for answers to come out because he knows he's going to have to speak up to him, and we'll see. What?
That was
Twitter. It's X. So if you reply, it's X in XX.
I think this is a good time to end the show.
Just saying. Just don't put a .com at the end. Whatever you do, just letting you know. All right. See y'all next week.
See y'all next week.